My mom's rude customer turned out to be my girlfriend. So I'm 21 female and lesbian. My girlfriend is 36 and bisexual. My mom had me young at 16, so she's 37 and works as a waitress at a high-end steakhouse. I just moved in with my girlfriend 2 weeks ago after dating for 2 months. You just know that we're off to a good start already. Oh my god. Moving in with her is a culture shock because she made close to 7 figures last year and I'm a struggling actress/college student. So my mom is serving the lunch crowd and goes to greet a woman. This woman did not acknowledge my mom's greeting and interrupted her when she was rattling off the specials. When her soup comes, she tells my mom her wallet costs more than what she made in a month, so be careful. She snapped her fingers to get my mom's attention, but when she came without her beckoning, she rolled her eyes and said, "Will you leave me alone?" At the end, when my mom asked if she could take her plate, she sarcastically asked if she had any other bright ideas. In the end, my mom went to take her Amex and saw the name on it and put 2 and 2 together. She got a very poor tip at the end of it. She said that she has given me the information and that what I do is up to me. I'm in denial that my girlfriend would be like this. She's always been sarcastic, but in a very attractive way. In fact, the only problems we've had is that she sometimes comes off as flirtatious to others, and I get jealous sometimes because I can see she has a lot of options. When we've gone out, she's been nice to the waiters. But my mom and I have a very close relationship and are very honest with each other, and I seethe at the thought of anyone being rude to her. When I asked for what the woman was wearing, my mom told me exactly what she put on this morning. So when my girlfriend got home, I asked if she did anything interesting today. She said not much, and I asked if she was in a bad mood, and she asked why would I ask her. Now she's getting suspicious because I turned down sex, and when I tried to talk to her again, she said that she was busy. What do I do to confront this issue? What can I do if she was just having a really bad day, and this was out of character? I love her a lot, and she's been extremely generous to me, so I don't know what to do. And now in the comments, there is old advice that you should pay attention to how a new love interest treats people like waitresses who are strangers to her in a subordinate role, who have no lasting impact or influence over her. There is also the significant age gap to consider. Given her behavior with your mother, I think that you will see other red flags in your relationship if you examine it. All of this. If or when your mum and girlfriend meet, it's going to be more awkward than the fact that they're only a year apart. Moved in after 2 months, 15-year age gap, and only 1 year between your mum and girlfriend, make 7 figures, is rude to waitstaff, and went and found a struggling actress 15 years her junior to date. Yeah, this all sounds absolutely peachy and above board, doesn't it? Is no one else here going to address this huge power imbalance in this relationship, or is it okay when it's not a hetero couple? Seriously, what is a wealthy 36-year-old getting from a 21-year-old? It's all about power. OP, your mum has already informed you of your partner's attitude towards those she thinks she has power over. How do you see this factoring into your relationship dynamic over the next few years? I'll address it. Man, woman, doesn't matter. Someone who finds a partner barely old enough to buy a beer, treats service people like crap, and acts like a pimp is not a good person. OP, your mum has shown you every waving red flag possible about this awful woman. Run like hell. Lots of people have bad days without being demeaning and disrespectful to others. You really need to think about if this is the kind of person you want to tie yourself to. For me, that would be an absolute deal breaker. I do not like spending time with rude, entitled assholes. It was good of your mum to give you the information and leave the decision up to you. It really is up to you to determine if this behavior is something you can live with or not. And OP says, yeah, my mum's always been great like that. Thanks. And now onto the update. There was a lot of tension between me and my girlfriend after I turned down sex the day before yesterday. I was clearly upset about what my mum told me, but I didn't know how to confront her. She ended up disappearing into her study. After the house manager finished cooking dinner and left, she came out in going-out clothes and didn't say anything to me. I asked where she was going and she said nowhere, just to meet up with some friends. I text her a few hours later to ask if she was coming home to eat or if she needed a driver. She doesn't text back for a while until she sends me back a picture of hotel drinks tab that was in the thousands saying she was paying for everybody. And then she stops replying to my texts. I don't know who booked the room or who she was with. I hear her stumble in at 3:30 a.m. and she reeks of booze and other random smells. She wakes up at 2 p.m. and goes to her study. I go to her study and she doesn't acknowledge me for a good minute. She finally says, "Last time I checked, you were 21, not 12. Adults speak when they have something on their minds," and tells me to out with it. So I confront her about being rude to the waitress, my mum. She says that I have been sulky all week and she has been walking on eggshells since last Monday, even though I thought we were perfectly happy then. She acknowledged she was at the restaurant, but said none of what I accused her of ever happened. She said that she was served by multiple people and said that at fancy restaurants, waitresses should know to only approach when the customer beckons, and she lightly recalls one of them breaking such protocol. When I ask who she was with last night, she said she's getting bad vibes from this conversation and tells me to leave if I'm going to be a baby. I'm pretty close to crying, and she says she's been thinking, and this relationship is giving her bad vibes, and maybe I wasn't ready for an adult relationship, and that she clearly misjudged my maturity. I start crying and saying that she was the most successful person I've ever met, and I think she's too good to be true, and a long thing about how I felt she is too good to me, which scares me now, because everything I said was completely from the heart. She then says that when she met me, it was like the stars aligned. She asked if the life advice she gave me was not helping, if this relationship already was not changing my entire life forever. She reminded me that I was living with 4 roommates, and now I live like the 1%, and she's helping put me through school. She said that she even introduced me to her well-connected friends, and when she told them how I was acting, they were so sorry for her, but she told them that bad moments happen to the best of us. I ask her if she would consider meeting my mum to at least talk things out, and she said she didn't want to meet my mum right now. She wants to help improve my life. This morning, she told me to pick out a dream tote that I could use for next semester and joked I was becoming spoiled. I called my mum, and she said I needed to stick to the things I knew to be true and that she has never lied to me before. But what terrifies me is how unprepared I was for her reaction, or how scared I was when she asked me to leave. I don't know what to do. I feel ashamed that I set out to get answers, and I screwed up, and now I feel ungrateful and like I'm self-destructing my life. She still works extensively with her ex-husband of 11 years, and I feel like I'll never measure up to him. And now in the comments, you are in a toxic relationship and need to get out of it, like right now. She accused you of being immature by not saying what was bothering you, but then her idea of a mature response to that was to go out and blow thousands of dollars on booze and party it up. 99% chance she screwed someone there too. When you do tell her what's been bothering you, she denied it, because of course she would. She has you so under her thumb that she knew you wouldn't question her about it. Then, she shuts down your very reasonable questions about who she had been partying with by slyly insinuating she would dump you if you kept questioning her. After that, she reminded you that you only have what you do because of her, implying she could take it away in a heartbeat, and then she frickin' bribed you like a child or a pet. She is like skeevy Hollywood villain level of toxic. She sees you as a possession that she owns, not a person. That is scary and never ends well. Also, don't forget she also got mad enough to ignore OP when she said no to sex. That on its own is a red flag. I feel like OP's partner's behavior is stereotypical of well-off guys who saves much younger women from poverty and suffering, and then treats her like crap and pretends to have moral high ground. Advice would be same here as there. Get out, girl. That money won't save your happiness or sanity when your partner treats you like dirt. It seems like she's treating you like her pet project. You are you, don't let her mold you into someone else. She may be wealthy, but I bet you are going to look back and realize you were happier when you lived with 4 roommates. She does not sound like a nice person. Next to the comments about gaslighting and manipulation above, it sounds like she's using her success against you. Maybe you're feeding it a bit too much by saying she's the most successful person you know, etc., but being told those things shouldn't influence a person in my opinion. Just remember that you don't need someone to be successful, only yourself. Also, stop comparing yourselves to others, them, and thinking that you will never get there. Instead, make a plan on how to get there. If what you are saying she said, you used to live with 4 roommates, now living like the 1% and such, is true, I don't think your mum is lying. I hate to break it to her, but money can't buy her love or a good personality. It sounds like she'll forever use her bigger success against you to be the better one in your relationship, and with that argument, justify acting like a total ass. I also think it's funny how she accuses you of being immature, but she's the one who went out when it got hard, and she's the one that doesn't want to have conversations with bad vibes. She also immediately started talking shitty about you to her friends. Maybe this is why she's with a much younger partner. She wants to feel like the most important person in the room, finally be in control. And now for a side update. Am I the asshole for voicing my discomfort about my girlfriend's ex-husband staying over? My girlfriend and her ex-husband started a company together 11 years ago. After they divorced, they agreed to continue to run the company together. So I get that they would see each other during work hours. However, yesterday, her ex-husband came over after dinner and my girlfriend said they were going to work on a project. They are still in her office when I doze off. I wake up in the morning assuming he went home, since it was only a 5-mile drive from the house that we were vacationing in East Hampton to Bridgehampton, where his house was, and it wasn't that late. Yet, when I walk into the kitchen, I see him casually pouring himself a cup of coffee and asking me if I like hash browns. I don't know if I'm just not a morning person, but it was pretty triggering because he had owned this house before their divorce, and he was clearly more at home in it than me. My girlfriend walks in, and they start talking, and were ignoring my attempts to join the conversation. It was not about work, just small talk, until I was practically pulling on my girlfriend's sleeve to get her attention. I asked her why he stayed over, and why he could not have gone home. She gets offended and says I'm being rude and insecure, and that she was just being a hospitable business partner. Her ex-husband starts petting the dog, and says that it was his fault, and he just missed the dog, but sits down and makes no motion to leave. I immediately feel bad because I didn't want to keep him from his dog, and my girlfriend says that when you do business together, you're not supposed to be mean to your business partner. Then she says she has a problem with my mum, and is well within her rights to complain to the owner about my mum breaching her privacy, but she didn't. That was when my mum told me she mistreated her when she was her waitress. Am I the arsehole for complaining about him staying over? I have nobody to bounce measures of sanity off of right now. And now in the comments, not the arsehole. I can't think of any situation where staying the night and making breakfast is hospitable business partner behavior. It might be casual and not sexual, but it's definitely not normal. Other than that, I would just say that if you are not comfortable with it, one of you will need to change. It is not an unacceptable thing to do if all parties are in communication and agreement. But the fact that she's insisting this is common business practice is kind of a red flag for either her view of reality or her view of your intelligence. Ask yourself if there has been any gaslighting going on, because this seems like the start of denying reality. Stop posting about your issues with this woman. She sounds 100% awful, and you're the asshole to yourself for staying with her. She gaslights you, she treats service workers like crap, she bribes you with gifts to get you to shut up about any one of the major deal-breaker problems going on here. We get it, she's famous and rich and so great. But honestly, girl, she's not great, and obviously getting advice from the internet last time did nothing to validate your feelings of being gaslit, which they really, really should have. Get help from a therapist and get some space from this woman. I wish you the absolute best with a large dose of clarity and strength for making the changes that you should. Not the asshole. It's not really the fact that he stayed over, it's the fact that she didn't think to ask you or give you a heads up. This is an issue that you can work through, but only if she takes your concerns seriously. Right now, it sounds like she's waving them off. Unless you two establish boundaries with the ex-husband, this will only continue to be an issue as your relationship grows. And our final update is titled, Am I the asshole for refusing to choose between my mum and my girlfriend? So my mum served my girlfriend at the steakhouse that she worked at. She said my girlfriend, who didn't know she was my mum at the time, was outlandishly rude and that she knew it was my girlfriend after she saw her name on the card. So after that, I ended up confronting my girlfriend and we had a days-long fight, our first fight ever, over this before things went back to normal. However, yesterday my mum calls and tells me she's been placed on leave from work because my girlfriend contacted the owner and said that she exposed her information to a third party and that she felt her privacy had been violated. The restaurant owner happens to know my girlfriend in passing, very distant acquaintance, and my mum says my girlfriend exaggerated her tale to the owner, saying that she rattled off numbers of her Amex card to me and also exaggerated the stuff that my mum accused her of. My mum said since it's a she said situation, she needed me to tell the owner that she only described her general behavior and a few true comments that stuck out. I love my mum, but my life with my girlfriend is so intertwined at this point. We are vacationing in the Hamptons, but I moved in with her back in Los Angeles, where I'm going to college. She's helped me book acting jobs, and I only secured a future internship through her. My girlfriend literally got on her knees, cried, and said she worked so hard for everything she had in life, and what my mum said about her could have destroyed her, and that she didn't want to lose me. When my mum called again, I expressed how angry I was that she was giving me this ultimatum and that I wasn't getting involved. She gets tearful and accuses me of resenting her for not giving me a privileged life. My grandma then calls me angrily and said that I was being a bad daughter who they didn't raise to become this. She refuses to listen to the fact that I would be alone and possibly homeless if I choose sides. Am I the asshole? I feel like I should have the right to choose not to get involved in situations that are between my mum and my girlfriend. Am I the asshole for refusing to burn bridges when I don't have to? And now in the comments, info. Something isn't right here. Do you actually believe your mother? Why didn't your mum say something to your girlfriend at the time? She had to know your girlfriend would know anyway after mum talked to you. Does your girlfriend have a habit of being rude to waitstaff? And OP says, I do believe her because she never lies to me. She didn't say anything to my girlfriend because she said she wanted to give me the information and let me decide whether I want to stay with my girlfriend. She was afraid if my girlfriend knew she'd lie to me before I had a chance to decide. Welp, then you're the asshole. Your girlfriend mistreated her server, lied about her, and is putting her job in jeopardy. You're the asshole just from that. Add in that her server was your mother, and that you were defending your girlfriend, and you're a super asshole. Info. What could your mother have said about your girlfriend that could destroy her? I'm confused. Being rude to waitstaff is shitty, but people finding out about it doesn't really ruin your whole life, does it? And OP says, my girlfriend was worried about her reputation. Almost everyone around her generally likes her. They don't like her. They like her money. You're the asshole. Your girlfriend was rude to your mother told you about it, you were the one who confronted your girlfriend, and as a result, your girlfriend complained about your mother. Had you done nothing, none of this would have happened, and yet you had the audacity to refuse to help your mother? This makes it so clear what the character of your girlfriend is, and you still support her. I suppose you and your girlfriend are fit for each other. You're the asshole. She completely screwed with your mum's livelihood and treated her horribly, but you were siding with your girlfriend? Sounds like you're choosing money over family. Your girlfriend needs to call your mum's work and explain she lied, and then you need to seriously reconsider your relationship. If she treats your mum like that when she's mad, what will she do to you? This makes me angry just reading it. I can't imagine how your mum feels. Yeah, dating someone almost double your age who talks to you like that and handles perceived disagreements by ghosting you, sending a flex pic of a bar tab, and insulting you further is a no-go. Nonetheless, the stuff with the ex-husband or mum. Screw this manipulative, emotionally abusive cow. She ignored her girlfriend for a full day and then had the audacity to call her immature and a baby. OP quite obviously didn't realize she was the manipulative girlfriend's plaything and nothing else. Yeah, if she approached the whole thing as a proper sugar baby situation, she would be better able to protect herself. But she actually thinks this is a real relationship and that she had a say in how her sugar mama behaves. And her ignorance here is what's going to get her in a more dangerous situation. Sadly, I can only see this ending with OP being either isolated and abused, or OP is dumped for a newer, younger model once she's too old for the girlfriend. Or even worse, and both happen. This left me feeling gross and sad for the mum and daughter for so many different reasons. I'm sad for the mother, but annoyed by the daughter. Yup, some people lose themselves for a house in the Hamptons. Yeah, getting used to living insanely above your means without being able to afford it by yourself is just such a bad idea. If your options are living in a castle or living in the streets with no in-between or safety net, you're just playing Russian roulette with your life. And that's where I end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it down below, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.